ready to carry it tonight?
Oh God, no.
I think I need you to. To be fair. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on Wednesday. I'd call it fine, but I feel like fucking toilet today.
Now remember, chat, Liam never gets ill.
You just nudged your cable again. You stopped nudging your cable.
He's in a really shitty mood as well, chat. Good luck. Godspeed.
Welcome back to the channel, you wonderful humans. I'm suffering with man flu and about 4 hours sleep. Liam looks like how I felt yesterday. You've been suffering, haven't you, Sam? I nearly died last night on the drive home.
You're going to make this stream really difficult, aren't you?
No, why? I had a deer run out in front of me on the way home. Why are you behaving like this now? You've been fine until I turned the camera on. Why are you trying to show off the stream?
Because you're egging it. Pack it in.
Why are you trying to show off the
Liam
stream
doesn't
for?
get sick, so pack it in.
You were really concerned about it last night when I talked
Yeah,
about the deer.
and here you are working, so no sympathy.
It was about the deer though, wasn't it?
No sympathy.
It's just playing up for you lot now. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. The subs have gone up a little bit again, which means you must be doing something right? And obviously a big shout out to Mr. The Hubris D for 5 gifted memberships before the stream even started. I have it on the fund. Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings. You wonderful human beings. Anywho, today's topic. There was an article released on Warcom, which I think was today. Was it today? Let me have a look at the date quickly. I think it was today. Boop, 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 boop. 13th of November. It was today. Let's share it with you wonderful people. Okay. So today, on the 13th, GW put out this article, which is a bit different and strange for them, right? It's a bit odd, this one. The ecstatic epistle, mysterious renders from the 41st millennium. And there's a thing in this that is odd to me. I don't feel like these were leaked anywhere. I don't feel like these were released anywhere. But they've chucked this article anyway. There's some wording in this which I think is quite interesting, which I thought we could discuss this evening. Something powerful is fermenting deep within the Empyrean, sending undulating waves throughout real space. We always catch wind of such momentous events, which is how we managed to sneak a peek at the Phoenix Lord Fugan emerging from the webway. Remembering that this was a forced release after after essentially a leak. I think it's Varak is how I saw the leak, to be fair. This one has befuddled us, overwhelming us with intoxicating sensations of delight, and despite stern warnings from the Warhammer Community Inquisitor to keep these images locked away, we are compelled to share them. Can you guys see this? I think you can see this. I think my YouTube's just... Oh, it's well behind, that's why. Okay, good, we've caught up. Okay, fine. Fragments of something purpley gilded with the fine metals, complemented by dazzling accessories, such grace, such poise. You want more? Stick with us and Warcom for your next hit. So this is obviously renderings, by the looks of it, for updated Emperor's Children stuff for 40k, is my thoughts. Right? This is what this looks like to me. 3D images generated in some software as to what Emperor's Children shoulder pads are going to look like. But it's the wording, right? We always catch wind of such momentous events, which is how we managed to sneak a peek at the Phoenix Lord. This one had befuddled us, overwhelming us with intoxicating associations, and despite stern warnings from the Warhammer Community Inquisitor to keep these images locked away, we are compelled to share them. So, are they getting ahead of leaks? Is this a thing GW are doing now to try and get ahead of the leaking stuff that's been going on, and they've caught wind of it somewhere, and they're like, here's a Warcom article. So no matter where it's dropped online, no matter what fucking subreddit it's in, no matter what Discord it's been shown off in, there you go. There's the actual imagery. Stop leaking shit. Or is it just a random rumor engine thing? I don't know. Evan, thank you for the 1 gifted. Alex, thank you for the 5 gifted. You wonderful human beings. Up to 11. You beautiful humans. Let me know. I want to know your thoughts, chat, on colourful postcards. And the more you can get Brian to talk, the less I have to talk. That's definitely getting ahead of a leak. That's what I feel like it is. The wording just seems a bit too like, we're a bit pissed off right now. We're going to get ahead of this leak. And then you can look here rather than looking elsewhere. It's a clever idea how you think about it. How do you figure? I've not seen these anywhere online before now, and neither have I. But this is why I think about getting ahead of leaking. Right? Sounds leaky to me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, where it's come from. If GW release it first and the leak is pointless, yeah, absolutely. Now they just didn't have anything else to write about. Well, there's a lot of that going on right now as well, Kai. Right? There's a lot of that going on right now. We've got nothing to give you news-wise. Who knew that no real AOS or 40k releases in the last 3 months of a year was probably a bad idea? Who'd guessed that leading up to Christmas? I'm not sure it's get ahead or make the best of a bad situation. Same but different, kind of? Luton? Maybe? GW found Varak's source. He hasn't been seen in a few days, allegedly. That doesn't sound right. It sounds very seething in that wording. Someone's not happy. It does. There is an undertone to it, isn't there? There is an undertone to the wording, which is like, we're getting pissed off. Which I think is probably justified. Something they did with the World Eaters Day 4 months before that release. Did it maybe leak in a non-English speaking forum so we didn't see it, but some people did? I have no idea, Grimwich Bum. Knowing GW, this pre-leak won't be anything like the actual release, making their leak wrong. It is GW after all. Getting information wrong is what they do. Games Workshop essentially said fuck you to leakers. That's kind of how it feels. Emperor's Children Perfection. Been waiting since 3rd edition for a full Emperor's Children release. I mean, I think it's going to be a decent one. But I absolutely did. I did feel like there was an undertone in the wording that was like, we're getting sick of this now. But I'm really torn on what I think their general attitude towards leaking is. I think externally they definitely seem to show that they're not happy with it and that it pisses them off and that they're a bit annoyed by it. But I feel like it should have been easier to catch the leaker by now, or the leakers. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I'm expecting too much of a company this size, but I don't know. I get the impression that if they wanted to stop it, they just stopped it by now. Can't imagine GW getting ahead. If anything, the interwebs would be far quicker than anything Games Workshop could manage. Maybe, Kev. The 40k game is a bit dead for me. They messed up the rules and other things, so AOS is what I'm doing and building. Fair? Are they themselves not the normal leakers anyway? Who knows? I don't know. Some of the things that's come out that have been genuine leaks, confirmed genuine leaks, makes me very suspicious. Very suspicious. Half the leaks are mess-ups from the warehouses. Are they? They did the same with World Eaters, though. Showed some renders 4 months before release. Yeah, someone else has said put that in before. I think it was Kaz. Has already said that. Excuse me, by the way. I'm going to try not to cough down the microphone at you as best I can.
Here is the real question. Does this mean they know who's leaking if they are so effectively ahead of this one?
If we think they're actually ahead of a leak, it feels like they have nipped it in the bud before it's become a problem, and the wording is kind of a message. I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it, though, which is very possible. I saw it pop up today, and I read it, and I was like, that's an odd set of words to choose to show off these new renders. It's an odd way of putting this together, because it's basically a case of it's not fucking being leaked, bastards. We're gonna chuck it out first. And ultimately, if something comes out on Warcom, it just completely negates it being leaked anywhere. Right? Essentially, if it's on Warcom, it doesn't matter if you put it on Reddit or on fucking Discord or wherever, because it's already on Warcom. You can just go and see it. You haven't got to look at some potato image. So it's interesting, Chris. I feel like this is the way it's worded is very much a case of no, we're dropping the news on this one first, and it's almost like they've caught it before it happened, and the wording is indicative of that. But again, I might just be reading too much into GW. Maybe I'm giving them far too much credit. I don't know. I'm very concerned if they stop leaks, Chapter Master Varrock would be out of a job. I don't think he would. I think he's got far too many people that like to abuse him anyway, whether he's got leaks or not. Fugan was the instructions in the wrong box, was it? Was that what that was? Somebody at Warcom is pissed off, wrote the article, and the leaker team at GW wasn't informed this person went rogue. I don't know. Leaks seem a bit planned in a way, but might just be because of their new policy of a fast post look at us. We have this and then show what was leaked. Is this a problem in any other industry? Is leaks like this a problem in literally any other industry? I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just oblivious to it because I don't really pay much attention to any other industry. That's kind of what I mean. They've definitely caught it early, and they with the renders there is a limited number of options for who. Interesting. We all know Valrak is James' workshop. Maybe. Film. Is there leaks in the film industry, Gaz? Is that a thing? I don't know if I've ever seen leaks in the film industry. I mean, it probably is a thing. Games, I guess. Video game. I guess video game industry. There's some leaks. I feel like they're less prevalent though. But again, it might just be because I'm less connected to the community because I'm just more fucking 40k focused all the time. I think it's an interesting one. I think if you read the words in that article, I think it's a message. Again, I might be going all too Cluedo on this, but I think there is music. It's just gone super quiet for a moment, Lou. And if I fast forward it a bit, we'll be fine. Hang on, let me grab the. Let's go there. It's better now. I feel. Oh, hang on.
I would say I'm hyped that EC shoulders seem clean and not corrupted / twisted. Very much the vibe I'm wanting for EC.
Same. I don't want everything to be a fucking guitar as well, to be fair. So same, Kaz. 100%. Thanks for the 5, dude. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Thank you, Chris, for the $10. You're amazing. We're still on 11 members, team. Yeah, maybe I'm going far too Cluedo on this. Maybe I'm reading too much into the wording. But it definitely, for me, seems a little bit like this is a message. Maybe I'm wrong. You're an English person.
Me?
Yeah, not like you're English, but you're a person who does lots of English with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
With inference and meaning and etc.
Yeah.
Are you busy typing? Have I got you at the wrong moment?
Oh, are we being polite to each other now?
If you've calmed down a bit, yes.
I'm not the one that's putting myself in a bad mood. You threw me such a look earlier. That's not okay. We're talking about that when we're done. Go on.
The wording in that article that I read out.
Yeah.
Would you say there's hidden meaning in it?
I'm going to rewind so I can see.
I can read it out to you. I've got it up.
No, I want to see the grammar in there.
I thought the balls were Carcharodon of Shark Marines. Balls? No, all 3 shoulder pads are Emperor's Children. It did sound a little bit annoyed. It's interesting, isn't it? What do you think about the new secret level trailer? Is it any different to... Is it any different to the other secret level trailer we've seen, really? What annoyed me about the secret level trailer is they put the article up on Warcom, new secret level trailer, watch this. I was like excited. My brother's been here today. I've been teaching him to paint. I brought him round and went, here's the secret level trailer. You want to show your nipper because he's really excited for Warhammer. Maybe 5 to 6 seconds total content of actual Space Marines. I was like, oh, because I don't give a shit about the rest of what's in that trailer. So, I mean, it was alright, but I didn't really see much. I want to see the episodes, but I think it was a nothing trailer, really. It didn't really bother me, to be fair. Movie and game leaks are taken less seriously because of cut material and false flags too often. Interesting. I guess, maybe.
I think it looks like damage control.
So you think that something's gone on as well?
Yeah, because despite stern warnings from the Warhammer community, inquisitors to keep these images locked away, we are compelled to share them.
We have to put them out there.
This one has.
Why do you have to put them out there? So there's two reasons why they have to put them out there, really. One, they've got nothing else to talk about, so we're going to put an article out about something. Two, they're getting ahead of it before someone else leaks it, and they know that it's been leaked somewhere.
Yeah, I think they're getting ahead of it, and it's damage control. What's been leaked?
So the shoulder pads that are in that image on the screen you're looking at.
This is about shoulder pads.
People will leak anything, Luce,
Okay.
in this industry. Absolutely anything.
Why do these shoulder pads change rules?
No, but it's for so the Emperor's Children don't have their own model range right now, and they're releasing a whole essentially new faction in the future. And Emperor's Children are coming as a brand new faction, which a lot of people have been waiting for a very, very long time. So it's quite exciting. They're going to have a whole new model range. It will be a big release. It will be a big release. Almost definitely be a big release. And these shoulder pads are the first images that we've seen of this new faction being released.
Oh, okay.
So but they're renders as well. What's important is they're renders.
What's a render?
So it's a computer generated design image thing, right? So someone's sculpted it in computer software. What you're seeing is a picture of a sculpted item on a computer screen, not of an actual printed product.
So this could be changed. If it's not been made yet, it could be changed.
I mean, we don't know when the release is. If it's not been made yet, yes, it could be changed. But if it has already gone to print,
Oh, okay.
or they've already started making the machines, because I think they print the first ones. I don't know exactly how they do it, but I think they print the first ones and then they make master molds for the machines, for all the plastic machines later.
Oh, okay, I see. I was about to say we'll just change if it's kind of still a concept, then just change it.
I mean, that's in essence that's sort of semi-irrelevant. It's the fact they've dropped it out and so they're compelled to share it. And I'm like, for me, this means someone somewhere was going to leak this, or it was going to come out somewhere, and they've managed to get ahead of it. And before that's happened, they've gone, we are compelled to share this. We're showing it before anyone else shows it. That's a language to me that they've shown off. Luton, by the way, laughing at you.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to say that. It's very important, Luce.
Is it?
Yeah. If it's not in the public domain, then it's an internal staff issue and there's a threat of it.
Yeah, I'm agree. It's someone. Hang on, chat's moving. Let me just.
Because Mr. the Ballsack's come in and gifted 20 members. 20 members, Luce.
Hold on. Oh, I've lost it. So somebody said it could just be that there's a funny tone. Oh, here we go. Colonel Panic. Could just be a funny tone thing, like it's Slanesh themed. Maybe they're compelled to show them off because of how perfect they are. I was on the fence of, is it just we think there's a tone, or is there wild inference in there that it's damage control? And
I think it's damage control. I think it sounds very damage control-y.
It
or
reads,
at least very snidey.
Yeah, it reads as the person who potentially has leaked or didn't leak or whatever. If they were to read that article, you'd know that's about them. But everyone else reading it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It feels very much like a message to me personally. It's a message, but I don't know. Just imagine it as an image to an upgrade kit, maybe. Anyway, Mr. Ballsack, thank you for 20 gifted members.
I hope for you, Chapter Master Ballsack, that when you spill coffee on the carpet, you have just the right things in the cupboard to get it out the carpet as best you can.
I was wondering how long that would take.
All of chat know about it. I didn't even know they knew.
The Thanes know about it.
Why did you put it in Thanes?
Because I was having a bad morning.
So I don't understand then. Why put it in Thanes?
Sympathy.
Right. Okay, we're here. We're good. We're talking about... Okay. Can of worms has been presented. Lid hasn't been popped off yet, but at least we're acknowledging the sympathy.
I was feeling bad this morning. You know I was feeling bad this morning.
It's only coffee.
Yeah, it's not though, is it? It's dark brown coffee with granules on a cream carpet.
It's fine. It's
A
almost
whole
out.
fucking single cafetiere of it.
It's almost all out.
Yeah, I mean, you've done an incredible job cleaning it.
I reckon.
Because I was like, that carpet's fucked.
We're going to get some very unusual rugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have a big potted plant right there in the middle. Makes no sense to the feng shui.
Yeah. I was like, we're absolutely going to have to be like, if the landlord ever comes around and has a look round, be like, this is a weird layout for a bedroom.
Right, child number 1, stand right there.
Yeah. Or lie on the floor.
Child number 2, stand there.
Yeah, it was... it was a bad morning this morning. I didn't get to sleep till I think I saw like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I think it was because my head was just starting to fill with shit because man flu, and then I think what someone in Thames was saying, because of the deer near miss last night, it might have actually been adrenaline as well that was keeping me awake.
Why didn't you say, I'm really sorry, babe, would you mind making the tea and coffee?
Because it's your day off. It's like...
Yeah, but I wouldn't have minded.
No, that's not the... I was like, I can get up and make coffee. It's not that hard.
Can you?
I did. I did make coffee. Did I not?
Can you?
Did I make coffee? If I didn't make coffee, I wouldn't mind knocking it over because there'd be nothing in it, Luce.
Can
I
you?
definitely made coffee. I made it everywhere.
Just next time, just say, I'm feeling really clumsy. Do you remember the coffee last time? Or do you mind making it?
I wasn't feeling clumsy. I was feeling tired, but we'd slept in till 8, so I'd got a sleep cycle in. I was like, I'm feeling tired. I feel shit. I need to get up anyway because I need to drain this shit out. And I want to go and make myself a lemon sip, ready for the day. And I came down, made the lemon sip, I let the dog out. I fed the dog, used a knife, didn't cut my fingers off. Right, made your coffee, everything was fine, waddled up the stairs, put it on your bedside table, everything was okay, pushed everything on, and for some reason, as I turned around, my hand... You know the cafetières, chat? They've got the little plungers that come out the top, right? They're like metal plungers. So what I do is I put the coffee in the cafetiere, fill it with hot water for loose, put the lid on, waddle up the stairs, stick it on her bedside table, and then when she's ready, she pushes the press down and then pours her coffee. I think it's quite a nice thing to do, right? And she brings me tea like most days of the week. So I'm like, on a Wednesday, which is her day off, I'm going to bring her coffee and she can sit and have her coffee in bed. Apart from this morning, she couldn't sit and have her coffee in bed. Instead, she could clean it off the carpet. Because what happened was, is as I turned, I knocked that plunge a bit with, I must have caught it with like my finger. And then I went to catch the cafetiere.
Oh, then that's how you burnt
That's
yourself.
how I burnt my fingers.
Okay.
It was one of those moments.
I grabbed the little tea tray that we have that has handles in both sides, so it kind of puts 2 holes in the wall of the tea tray as the handles. And I don't know why, but I picked it up and then I tilted it so the remnants of the coffee was dribbling everywhere, and I was going, I'm making it worse, I'm making it worse, oh god, I'm making it worse. So now there's a little trail around the bedroom while I was just walking around with this leaking tea tray.
I did come upstairs.
The tone of the article is almost can't leak these you fookers.
Yeah, I think so too, Prentice. That's exactly what I think. Thanks for the 5, dude. I did come up, I won't lie. As you well know, I felt terrible about it this morning. I came downstairs, I grabbed towels from the cupboard, I grabbed tea towels, I came back upstairs, and I won't lie to you, there was a moment when I walked in the room and I saw that you trailed it all around the bed. I was like, why did she do that?
Why did she
Why
move
was that the option? Keep it in. But I was like, I'm in no place to comment. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to keep quiet here and be like, what can I do to help?
Wouldn't it be funny if the big coffee stain I was able to get out the carpet, but
With
my
trail.
little trail is the thing that stains the carpet?
Oh my god. I felt fucking... hang on. Excuse me, I felt fucking awful this morning for doing that as well. Because I was like, the one thing you get to do on Wednesday is stay in bed and drink your coffee, and there you were, fucking scrubbing the floor. And I was like, I'm like, oh, how did I describe myself?
Yes.
Like a spare cock at an orgy.
Yeah. I'd never heard that before.
Yep, just stood there. Completely
least-
fucking useless.
At least it wasn't milk, because trying to get milk out and then
Would smell.
it goes
Yeah, it smelled.
sour.
The room smelt lovely for a while.
It smelled like a lovely...
Little coffee house.
Yeah.
Probably not great when you want to go to sleep later. Yeah.
Why can't I sleep?
You tired, babe? Yep. Oh my god. So yeah, that was my morning. That's how my morning started. I had a thumping fucking headache. I was draining snot out my face, coughing up, and then I knocked coffee everywhere. And I was like, well, this is a great start to the day. Having said that, the day was slightly rescued. For me at least. I don't know if it was for you. We've had a nice day. My brother came over today, and I don't see him very often, specifically without his kids in tow.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd spilt something else that I didn't know about yet.
No.
No, it was lovely having Ash over.
Yeah. He came over, and normally he comes over with his kids, my niece and nephew, who are amazing, and his wife. But so very often I don't get the time to just spend me and brother, which is, it happens, it's families, right? You grow up, you have families.
All these leaks. Imagine if they had been released some sort of precursor document where these fun surprises could have been celebrated and fought.
Fuck off, Dan. So thanks for the 5 though, Dan. You're a legend. So so my brother came. He was due to come over at 10. So Luce was still, bless her, Luce was still cleaning the carpet when he turned up at 10 o'clock this morning. 10 past 10 this morning, and he'd come over because he's loved Warhammer for almost as long as I've loved Warhammer. He's just never really had the time or capacity to do it ever. So he's got a bunch of stuff. He's never really painted anything. He's never really even got past building some things. And so he said to me, I want to paint. And he started painting the other day. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying, his first one was okay. But you could tell it was a person who didn't really know what he was doing, is the nicest way I can put it. Like, it wasn't a mess, but you could tell he didn't really know what he was doing. So I said, and he said, I'm finding this quite hard, actually. I don't think it looks very good. So I said to him, no worries. I'll give you some painting lessons. Because I know you all take the piss. I can paint, I just don't. And you've seen it. Hopefully you've seen it with the seer that I've shared recently in Instagram.
Since we're talking tea, is Twinnings English breakfast tea just called tea in England? And do you have Thomas English muffins? And are they common?
Twinings English breakfast tea is still called Twinings English breakfast tea, believe it or not, in the UK. What the fuck's a Thomas English muffin? Do you know?
Never heard of that.
No, neither have I. I don't know what that is. And so I said to him, you know, I can come over and I'll teach you how to use everything properly that you've got. Because like I said, if you've seen the seer that I shared on Instagram or the Autark I was doing recently, I can paint. I'm just not very quick and I don't typically finish things. So he came over today with his little fucking hell, with his Quality Street tubs of models just thrown in. And his bag with his spray paint and his 8 contrasts that he's bought. That's the only paints that he's got. He then pulled out a pack of like synthetic paintbrushes that his mate had given him and 2 Winsor & Newton brushes that I'd bought him 2 years ago that he's never come out of the box. He's never used them. So I was like, okay, we're starting from basics here, no problems. And he was like, I can't even get the spray painting right. I was like, it's not a problem. I'll take you through. Yeah, he was like, I can't even spray them properly. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I went through the whole process. Yeah. The whole thing, from warming the can up to making sure it was shaken properly to how to spray.
Did you say to put it in your armpit?
No, I said to him, boil the kettle, let the kettle cool down, put it in the bowl, put the can in the water.
Yeah.
Do you remember I had the water on the side?
Somebody said to put the can under your armpit.
Yeah, that is a thing you can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So I taught him how to spray properly. We did some spraying, so I did some priming out on 2 models, and I brought them in and I showed him. He wants to use mostly contrast because he doesn't want to use layering and highlighting and recess washing yet. That's a future problem. He's got a very specific scheme in mind, which is a ballsy scheme as well for a first one, but he loves it. It's the scheme he's wanting to apply to every army he's ever painted. So I'm not going to be the person to do it, obviously.
Here is 2 squid for some tissues, you wee snotty man.
Thank you, Holy. I appreciate you. Thanks, dude. You're a legend. So we did the priming. We brought in. I showed him how to use contrast. I showed him how to be neat with it. I showed him what to do if he makes a mistake with contrast, etc., etc., etc. And I sat him down here, and I was like, "Off you go." And he was like, "I have problems with shaky hands." I was like, "Are you bracing your hands?" He's like, "No." So we taught him how to sit properly. I was like, "Move the model, not the all the kind of standard stuff that I guess you lot and us and myself, most of us take it all for granted, right? It's all kind of things you're like, of course that's what you do, because we all do it all the time." It was actually incredibly refreshing taking a person through it who's never done it before. And then he sat here and he painted an arm for a Hormigaunt, and then We took him outside and he sprayed a load of models and stuff, and he went away like, that was so fucking helpful.
Oh.
And he went home, he said, I'm going to go home, take my daughter to brownies, and then come back and I'm going to sit and do some painting.
Yeah, nice.
And he was excited about it. So I think that's really good. It was one of those things that saved the day a little bit. It's one of those like humble hobby moments where when I look at, it sounds awful, and I'm sure Ash won't mind me saying, but when I look at things like this, which actually up close is very neat and tidy, and I'm sat going, I don't think it's good enough. And then I helped him paint a contrast Hormigant today, and we finished, he's like, that's fucking banging, that, I love that. I'm like, sometimes it's nice to realise that not everything has to be Golden Demon level and you can be happy with it. It was a really humbling moment, and you know, if we think that in Hobby House as well, we're potentially going to have to teach people how to build and paint and play, I could do that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed teaching all the little tricks and stuff, and I also got to have a good chinwag with him all day, which was quite nice. There we go. So the day was kind of saved in the end, although now our youngest is telling us he's not feeling very well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting probably tomorrow. He'll either wake up and he'll be perfectly fine and fuck you kids, or he'll be an absolute misery bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much did you charge? Nothing. Yet. I could put the can between my legs tucked right up in there. If that doesn't warm it up, then I'm probably dead. If you have colour forge, you don't have to heat. They aren't as shite as, you know. He's got grey sear spray. Most of what he's got is stuff I've given to him over the years, because he really doesn't have the money to spend on the hobby. So he's got grey sear because it's also a beautiful base coat for putting contrast on as well. So sometimes people forget that the hobbying side of things doesn't need to be or shouldn't be competitive. Preach. It's weird, isn't it? I think... I don't know. I think often in anything we do... do you ever... When you're, like, knitting and sewing, do you compare what you've made to a picture or a post or a reel or something? Or are you like, I'm actually just really chuffed with that? Because I know in the wargaming world, we're all horrendous for comparison.
You are a wonderful brother, Liam. Sending my LLLLL love to all the team.
It's not being that wonderful, is it? I just sat here and taught him to paint for a day, whilst basically feeling sorry for myself. So, but yeah, so in the wargaming world, we're all terrible for painting something, opening up Instagram, scrolling through, seeing someone who's painted something similar or in a scheme similar, realising they've done it a million times better than us, and going, well, my shit.
Sewing patterns have drawings or sketches, not photographic pictures. So you kind of have to follow the instruction. And I have a rule of if the instruction's not making sense, step away from the project. Don't go a step further until you can make sense of that sentence, because unpicking stitches from a machine is okay if you've just done something called a basting stitch. So a basting stitch is essentially like blue tacking pieces together.
Right, okay.
It's not a permanent stitch. It's not a decorative stitch. It's designed to be pulled out in a minute once you've put the permanent line in. If you've done something called a top stitch, jeans are a really good example. When you see that lovely golden cotton stitch, that's a top stitch. It has a purpose, but it's mostly decorative. Unpicking that can be a real pig if you've misunderstood a sentence, and then the drawing or the sketch, it's as clear as it's going to get. So if you still can't make sense of it, it's not the instructions' fault. It's you're probably too
But you haven't got a picture.
No, there's no photograph.
So it's not like a cookbook. Do you do it with cookbook stuff?
Oh, I've had to tell myself for years they've airbrushed the photo.
Yeah, it's weird,
so
isn't it?
Don't, as long as it looks something like the photo.
Well, couldn't you argue to a point with cooking? I guess couldn't you argue actually what it looks like is fucking largely irrelevant? It's what it tastes like.
Yeah, you can. Ultimately,
I think it's weird. I do it all the time, and a day like today is a real nice moment to go. It doesn't need to be Golden Demon winning.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably never going to be Golden Demon. It doesn't need to look like the picture in the cookbook. It doesn't need to look like that.
And knitting So sewing, you'll have maybe some kind of really cute illustration on the knitting pattern packet that might be a bit like Great British Bake Off. Not photos, they're really cute drawings. So there might be some lovely stick thin, perfect body wearing this amazing skirt. It's straight away I'm going, I won't look like that in this skirt, and I'm comfortable with that. Then you have each step of the instruction is a sketch or a drawing, still no photographs. Knitting, you just get a photograph of maybe like some cute kid wearing the boy's jersey, modelling it. There's no sketches for each step, and the whole knitting pattern is...
You are wonderful. A lot of people don't have someone like you to sit there, help them or show support.
I don't
Please
do
take the
compliments.
compliment.
I don't do compliments.
So the knitting pattern sometimes isn't even in sentences. It will just be like code. So there's no...
I've seen knitting patterns.
Yeah.
You have to be a fucking
Yeah.
a Second World War decoder to work out what the fuck's going on with those.
And then the cookbook has the one photograph of the finished article, but there's tons of language in there that you have to end up Googling, because it might say something like saute. Right, what the fuck is that word? Google that word. So some of my cookbooks, I've underlined the words that I don't know what they mean, and then I've scribbled them out, and I've put a much simpler synonym.
Yeah.
Or even a little asterisk of this is this. Or even some recipes where they really just love the sound of their own voice in their little vlog, so I have to put big crosses like it's not relevant, we don't care that you grew up in California, we don't care.
So one of the absolute beauties of having you sat on streams is that we can compare hobby things to other real world things. Do you look at cookbook photos when you're making the thing now? So with your experience, where you're like, it's airbrushed, it's fake, I don't know if you've ever watched them, there's these reels that pop up where they're like how they do adverts. And it's like they'll get cornflakes, for example, in a bowl, and they'll fill it with thick white PVA glue. So when they drop the strawberry in it, it doesn't go plop and just psh everywhere. It kind of sits on it and then sort of gently sinks in, but it's actually PVA glue. And they show you how they make all these adverts and stuff. It's fascinating. But it's like they'll pour a pint of something, but they'll mostly use oil because it means that they can keep the bubbles or whatever it is they do, right? So knowing that and looking at cookbooks with the same information in your mind, you go, that is unachievable. So do you ever, when you're making a thing, so let's say you pulled the cookbook out this Christmas, because we've mentioned this specific thing. Let's say you pull the cookbook out this Christmas and you look at the festive beef Wellington, right?
Yeah.
I've made this before. So this is why this is relevant, okay? Yeah. And this, I will relate this to painting, trust me. So I made that following the instructions. And what came out the oven...
Possible the best Warhammer.
Fuck off! No, I don't bullshit that one. Not with 33,000 subs. So, I made it. I followed the instructions. When I wrapped the pastry, I was like, "This is looking a bit more like an abortion." And then when I eventually put it in the oven and it came out, I was like, "This does not look like the picture at all." Thank you, by the way, Garsty and Alex. This doesn't look like the picture at all. Looks nothing like the photo. Now. We obviously ate it, because there's no way we're wasting fillet beef and fucking festive mushrooms.
Yeah, we saved up for that.
And it tasted wonderful, and in the end, I got this like warm, fuzzy feeling. I'd made that. That was great.
Yeah.
Right? But I wished, throughout the process, I wish I'd never looked at the photo. Because the photo, for me, set an unrealistic expectation. Now, relating this to painting, I'm painting my Eldar stuff at the moment. I have stopped looking at people's painting on Instagram altogether. Because I think it has a negative impact when I sit here with a model and I've looked at something on Instagram, which is someone like Rich Gray or Waller, and I'm like, that is phenomenal. I want mine to look like that. I want my beef Wellington to look like the photo, right? Both of them are unachievable for me. So just don't look. And then follow the beef Wellington instructions and then go, that's what I've made. And it tastes great. You have none of the lows then.
I think... I'm just realising now, I think I haven't given myself enough credit on the knitting and the cooking.
Interesting. Interesting with the knitting, because there's no photos, you said.
There isn't. And...
So is it like the high street expectation of what a sock should look like?
I'm not even going that far.
Okay.
well, I mean, since home edding, we've realised an awful lot about ourselves, the neurodivergence in this house, and how we love a plan. I've only just realised not having clearer instructions for things like cooking, there's assumed language in there, and knitting, it's practically decoding, and then you still finish with a product.
Saruman believes it is only great painters that can hold evil in check, but that is not what I have found. I found it is the small everyday deeds of ordinary painters that keep the grey at bay.
Thanks, Evan, for the 10. And the great Lord of the Rings reference. I'm a fan of that one.
So how much we love a plan, and I think actually still finishing with a product is a huge achievement, whether it even looks like the photo or not at the end, because to follow kind of a very vague, a bit of a dickish instruction set.
Dickish.
Because imagine someone saying to you, I'm an absolute beginner at Warhammer, and you give them the same instructions that a seasoned Warhammer hobbyist gets.
So this is I showed him some of the stuff I've painted.
So,
and I was like, don't worry about that yet. That's like advanced or more advanced level.
So being able to follow a plan that hasn't been further broken down for the beginner, and the beginner has still gotten through it with a product at the end.
Yeah.
You wonderful bearded man, let us show you appreciation. You have built a community that helps so many people, including myself, feel like we belong.
Shut up, you sappy fuck. Thanks, Brandon, for the 5.
Also, loose best co-host anyone could ask for.
Evan, thank you for the $10 as well. And Garth, thank you for the 2.
I'm far too much of a handful.
So Luce is alright. One thing to learn, chat, right, is Lou says to me frequently, take the fucking compliment, you've done really well there. You're like, cool, here's a compliment for you. She's like, nah, no. No. She's as bad as me, if not worse, for accepting compliments.
So for a beginner to get the same instructions
See?
as a seasoned Warhammer hobbyist, and they still finish with a product that looks pretty decent, is a huge accomplishment. So I guess my food now is starting to look like the photo, even though I know the photo's been airbrushed. So that in itself is some of this knowledge is going in, and I'm now beginning to read instructions a bit like bloody Bake Off, where super vague, but I do have the knowledge, and there are no pictures, and I think that's what that means. I'm going to go for it.
I said this to Ash today. I was like, I can teach you the techniques. I can't make you neat.
That's time.
Just practice.
Yeah.
And learning how to correct things. I can teach you basically how to correct things. You're just going to have to play with the paint. And essentially, it's all it is. It's the same with things like ingredients. It's the same with things like pastry. You just play with the ingredients. You play with the paint. So I said to him, this is how I think you should hold it. This is how I get neater. Again, these two are incredibly neat. If you look at the neatness on them, I was like, so you can achieve this, but ultimately it's muscle memory. You just have to go and keep going and keep going and keep going. And I said to him, when he gave me the first one that he'd done, he's like, it's a bit shit. I was like, yeah, keep it. Keep it. Because when you've painted your 100th gaunt, and you've just got the process down, and everything's neat, and you don't make less mistakes, and everything's great, right? And then you take that 100th one, and you compare it to your first one, you'll be like, because this is the way the world works. You'll paint the 100th one, you'll be like, oh, it's a bit shit. But when you compare it to your first one, you'll go, oh, actually, it's really good.
There's a really sweet saying, and I saw it on a poster, and it's a very basic image as well. It's somebody standing on a stone in the open ocean, and there's this tiny island in the distance, and the top line says, look how far there is to go, and the bottom line says, but look how far you've come.
Yeah. 100%.
So I always think of that.
One of my biggest regrets is I don't have some of the earliest models I painted. I sold my old Eldar army. I don't have anything that I originally painted.
Why?
Why what?
Did you sell them?
The old Eldar army. The army was battered. I was looking to refresh it anyway. The paint had chipped, some bits had broken. I was like, I'm just going to reset and start again. The army also wasn't functional for the edition anymore.
Okay.
So I was like, sell the whole lot. So I sold it all. And there's a Farseer model that I painted on a bike that I really wish I'd kept that one model. I really wish I'd kept it. Just so I could have it up on the shelf. So when I'm painting now and I'm going, this is a bit shit, I could get him off the shelf and go, much neater than this one. And this one I was very proud of at the time. But when I painted this one, it was also long before I started really diving into the world of things like Instagram and learning all about the high-class painters out there that exist. So when I painted the Southampton originally, I wasn't looking at Instagram. I wasn't looking at photos constantly. Just fucking happily sat there painting away.
Yeah.
Job's a good one. I
find myself on Facebook, if I'm looking at knitting pages or sewing pages, now we have the wonderful AI. I now have to kind of examine the photo to see if it's AI. And I hate that I now have to do that. So the pictures don't necessarily put me off because I'll never get there. They put me off because it possibly was never real to begin with. So it's already a lie. And there'll be people who will be really beating themselves up over, why doesn't mine look like that? That one's not even real.
Do you have a similar sort of shitty experiences at places like fast food restaurants? Gaz says earlier, can you imagine if fast food adverts and images in the restaurants looked like how they got given to you over the counter?
I reckon we would eat healthier almost overnight.
If the photo looked like what they handed you?
Yeah.
With the fucking mayonnaise hanging out the side and one bit of lettuce?
Because fast food looks beautiful. And we've all just kind of accepted that what we're paying for doesn't look like the poster, and it never will.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't look at anything. If you think about any of your favourite fast food chains, I don't look at any of the images when I'm going through the menu and putting an order in and go, oh, that looks good. I don't.
No.
Because I know it's false. They might as well not have photos. I know it's false. Gaz says, even having comparison from your first model, would it make any difference now you've been exposed to high-level painters? I think my point is, Gaz, that I'm trying to come away from looking at high-level painters and exposing myself constantly to high-level painters. And when I say exposing myself, I mean looking at them, not showing them my willy. And I'm going back to comparing what I did versus the last one that I did versus the last one that I did versus the last one that I did. I wish I'd kept the old one so it was an easier process to go back to that comparison. Because although I'm exposed to high-level painters, I think one of the most sort of humbling moments you can have in the hobby in general is going, I'm not there, and I'm not going to be there without pay. So here's the weird cycle that I go through. I don't know if other people are the same, but you paint a model, you look online, you see what someone's done significantly better than you, and you stop. You go, I can't do that. Well, no, neither could he when he first picked up a paintbrush. Never. It's practice, it's muscle memory, it's control, it's skill, it's using the right tools. No one picks up a paintbrush for the first time and paints something that will win a golden demon. It's impossible, right? So, excuse me for keep sipping, by the way. I have to keep my throat lubricated. So I have this weird vicious cycle where I look at it and I look online and then I'm like, ugh, I can't do that, and I put it down. I'm like, well, if I don't keep painting, I'm never going to get to that standard. So if I want to get to a Waller standard, or I want to get to a Rich Gray standard, or a David Soper standard, and I'm probably never going to get there. But if I want to start getting closer to their standard, actually the answer is to keep painting, to keep going, to keep doing it. And use it as inspiration rather than comparison. I feel like in things like recipe books, it's unfair though. It's unfair to try and use it as even inspiration instead of comparison because it's a false image.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah. But we're all happy for it to happen. And would we even buy the cookbooks if it was like this slop on a plate what it's going to look like?
This is the thing. This is the weird situation, though, isn't it? I don't think you would. I don't think you would. If you were like, if it was like, fuck, I don't know, spaghetti bolognese in a cookbook, and it showed you a picture of just fucking grilled mince swimming in fat, you'd be like, oh, that's fucking awful.
I don't want that.
Yeah. So they have to make it look phenomenal because with cookbooks you have to go, that looks gorgeous. I want that in my life. So if you think about that image of the beef Wellington, because it's the favourite one to talk about, it's cut down the middle and you've got that perfectly pink piece of beef, which is probably fake. They paint them. They use actual paint, right?
Yeah.
So it's perfectly cut down the middle with perfect puff pastry or whatever the fuck it is that they use for the beef Wellington. I think it's puff. It might not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it looks perfectly cooked all the way through the middle, right? Because it makes you, and you look at it and you go, mouth watering. That looks fucking great, that.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. It's not real.
No.
But then actually, there will be a person out there, a Gordon Ramsay, that can cook it like that. Absolutely there will be.
And that's why I think cook shows versus cookbooks, or even YouTubers that cook, yes, it's been edited and it might not be, they might have done on take one the perfect pastry, but the finished product of take one doesn't match up. So maybe they've used take one's pastry, but take five's finished product. Fine. But he had to do it 5 times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like there's still, it's not as much lying in a cook show as there is in a cookbook.
It's not like Blue Peter's, here's what I did earlier.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I still think you can never substitute standing in the kitchen with a family member and going, right, today we're making this.
Yeah.
Because if it goes wrong in real time, then you see your relative really going, right, we've messed up.
So-
this is how to fix
So
this.
this was part of the beautiful experience today with Ash. Because even when I sat in here in my chair with the model in front of him, I hovered around. And there was a couple of times where I sat where you are, and I was like, you need more paint on your brush. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. And he adds more. I was like,
Yeah.
and then he'd go back to... So Ash was one of these that would hold... where's my fucking paintbrush? There it is. He's one of these that holds his model here, holds his paint here, and he's like this. He's like, I can't get my hand steady. I was like, of course you can't. Your fucking hand's literally floating in the air. Both of them are. You're doing this all the time. Do that, right? And get
Yeah.
them wedged together so that the brush is stable. And he was like, is it that simple? I was like, yeah. Elbows on the desk, hands together, create the triangle, and the brush doesn't move. It's dead still. And he's like, he started painting, and I was like, your hands aren't together. And he put it together, and he went, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He's like, I thought I was really shaky. It's like, everybody is like this. Everyone's like all over the place like this, Ash. It's not you.
Yeah.
And so, if he'd have watched a video or watched a YouTube video, he probably would have picked some tips up, almost definitely. But it's very easy, I think, when you go, right, okay, so I've just watched a bit that says I've got to put 3 points of contact. Cool. I watch the next bit, then I watch the next bit, then I watch the next bit, and then I start painting. And what you'll be doing is you'll be focusing on point 4. You'd have forgotten about point 1 already. You're like, it's not working. Why is it not working for me? Unless you go back and watch that video again, you'll go, oh, I forgot point 1. But when I'm sat there, I can go, point 1, 3 points of contact. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And he did it in the end, and he had a lovely, neat claw and a lovely, neat arm, and he was really chuffed.
Yeah.
But it's because I had that direct feedback, that family
Yeah.
member in the kitchen. That direct feedback was fucking great. So, yeah. Anyway, Lehman Russ says, come on, people, let's start gifting. I'm here for that message, Lehman. I'm here for that message. 135 people watching right now. If everyone gifts 1 membership, we'll hit target, and I can go to bed happy in my man-flu fund. Dave says, speaking of painting, what's 3 first techniques to learn? The first technique to learn, and I mean this, right? Genuinely mean this. The first technique to learn, I think, is actually base coating, right? It's base coating. If you don't get a good base coat on a model with a spray can or an airbrush, you might as well stop. If you end up with a grainy, shitty, fucking powdery base coat, whatever you put over the top is just not going to look nice. So, and a lot of people rush base coating, or they don't actually learn how to base coat properly, or they don't make sure their can's warm, or they don't make sure the ambient temperature is right, or if it's not far, or it's too far away, or they're not like doing it properly. So Ash had a problem with some models that he's base coated, which basically looks like someone's come on their fucking heads because it's just big gloopy mess on the front of the face, and he's lost the detail. And he's like, "How have I done that?" I was like, "You'd have held it still and held it for too long." He's like, "Yeah, I did, yeah." So I showed him. He had no idea. When we started base coating, so I blue tacked all the models to a box, because what I did is I didn't want to get all my tools out that I use, that I've bought over the course of the last 3 years that have cost hundreds. So I didn't want to go, right, how you base coat is you pick up your £400 airbrush, right? And I mean airbrush and compressor when I say 400. You pick up your 400 quid airbrush, you go into your 100 quid booth, and you spray, because you'd be like, I haven't got 500 quid to spend.
No.
Speaking of cooking, I'm going to try baking this weekend. Any tips from Master Baker Loose so I don't burn down my house?
What are you baking?
Yeah, Arm Holy, thank you for the 1 gifted, you're a legend. So what I did is I used a cardboard box of blue tack, I used a spray can that he bought, I used his paintbrush, I used a cup of water, I used a plate as a palette, so I didn't take anything fancy, anything he didn't need to buy. Yeah. Essentially. So, and we started off with base coating. And we base coated from and I did the psh, psh, and he was like, you'll spray across spray. I was like, yeah, quick passes, keep the paint moving. He's like, really? So he was going, bless him, he was going psh. I was like, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah, it's not deodorant.
Evidently. Psh. And then I was like, keep quick pass, keep the paint moving, go round, let it dry a bit, have a look at it, and then look at where it's missing, and quick spurts. Base coating's the first one I go for, Dave, honestly. The second skill to learn is about brush control, I think, if I'm honest with you. And when I say brush control, that's where a lot of people's errors are going to come from. Brush control, and I think it comes hand in hand with point 3, which would probably be consistency of your brush control at the same time, although that's kind of the same thing. So I've said to him, for example, when you've got your triangle here, I've said to him, paint, right, move the model, not the brush. And then your paint action is the same action every time. Keep moving your model, don't move the brush. Like, that's one of the biggest things for me. Keep the brush in the same place, because if you start doing this, you can't be consistent. You can't have brush control around here. So just keep the brush in the same place, move the model to the brush, right? And I'm saying this as a person who's not particularly great at painting. James, thank you for the 1 gifted. Si, thank you for the 1 gifted. Brian, thank you for the 1 gifted. Christopher Sam from Police Station Gloucester, thank you for the 1 gifted. That gives us 5 extra up to a nosebleedy 36. Spray doesn't agree with me. You're not spraying, wee man. So many small things with spray cans. Clean the nozzle after use. Yeah, so that's another thing I told him. He had no idea. People don't do this, right? Spray cans, when you spray them, excuse me, when you spray them, the paint comes in the nozzle, right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the spraying, I said to him, turn it upside down, squeeze the nozzle in, like fully upside down, squeeze the nozzle into the box. Eventually, you'll stop seeing paint mist come out, and it'll just be propellant. Stop. And you've blown all the paint through then. There's no more paint in the nozzle. And if you look at the nozzle, there'll be a little black hole. He's like, oh, there is, yeah. I was like, because you don't want paint drying in the nozzle. So what happens next time you spray? A fucking dry paint comes out. Most important technique of painting, brush licking, yeah. I licked his brush so many times today. Not a euphemism. So he's going to get well sick tonight if he's painting with the same brush. Ghastly, thank you for the 1 gifted. Move the model, not the brush. Good advice, 100%. I mean, don't do like, if you want to paint, don't do this. You want to still paint with a brush, but move the model, not the brush. Ghastly, thank you for the 1 gifted, man. Up to 37. 37. Almost at halfway there. Not quite. With baking, not burning the house down is tip 1. Facts, yeah. A cinnamon roll cake.
Are you going to be dividing up the dough and then doing it in like its spiral shape, or are you going to do it like a Swiss roll, like a roly-poly cake, where it's all one rolled loaf?
Liz is going to ask you 20 questions before you get any answers, and then she'll forget what the question was in the first place. Laura Cinder. Dan, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a legend. Have I just logged into a painting channel? You're teaching me things here, useful things. I'm developing. You might get slightly excited about this, wee man. I'm developing a real passion for painting at the moment. I'm getting really excited about it again. I'm looking at Saturday, for example, which currently the calendar is clear, and thinking I'm going to spend a day sat here painting with something on the TV. Because I'm really getting the bug for it again.
Love a good cheap wet palette, Chinese container and some baking paper.
Yeah, a little bit of sponge at the bottom. Lather the brush in favourite colours, throw brush at model, done. Okay, I'm actually learning here, Liam. No wonder my paint ratio is like 1 model per 3 or 4 years. Yeah, well, I know, I've said this before, right? There's been a common joke stroke misconception for a while that I can't paint or I'm bad at painting. And compared to some people, that's true. And if you compare it to what Joe knocks out in a week, it's definitely true. I can paint. I know all the tricks. I know how to do it all. I know how to blend. I know how to wet blend. I know how to. I've got a wet palette. I've got all the tools. I've got all the tricks. My biggest issue is A, my ADHD brain, and B, the comparison that I do. Excuse me. Sorry, Adrian. Thank you for the 1 gifted. Wee man, Nick, you beautiful human being. Thank you for 20 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for 20 gifted. Wee man.
I hope for wee man that the next time you order a kebab, it is absolutely perfect and it doesn't end up making you feel sick.
Wee man's vegetarian.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we need a re-roll, if that's okay.
This would be useful information to
Yeah,
me.
I don't think he's going to order a kebab. Sorry, wee man. He's a vegetarian. Not vegan.
I was about to say.
Vegetarian. It changes things, doesn't it?
It does change things.
Although it's a strong wish.
Yeah. Okay, the next time you order in, that it's amazing.
Absolutely perfectly cooked.
Perfectly cooked,
Yeah.
and it was a good choice, and you don't end up going, I wish I hadn't have done that,
Yeah.
because now I feel worse.
I hope that the next time you go to a restaurant, right, to eat out somewhere, they have actual solid, decent vegetarian choices. They don't just give you a vegan choice.
I feel like it's gotten better. Like, if you were a vegetarian 20 years ago, in this country, there wasn't much choice. Even things like gluten-free, over the last 20 years, has gotten so much better. When I was in my second care home job, a lady I cared for, she had to get her gluten-free bread on prescription because there just wasn't the range, and it was awful. But now, there's a whole aisle.
There are occasions when I go down the gluten-free route for a couple of days if I'm suffering, because I can have an issue with too much gluten sometimes. Sometimes I can be sensitive. Sometimes I'm fine. Sometimes I'm sensitive. If I have toast in the morning for breakfast and I have like scrambled egg on toast at lunch, and then there's a bready thing in dinner, I'm like pizza, I'm gonna suffer. So there's been occasions where I've ordered, for example, the gluten-free from Domino's or whatever, and it's much, much better. I also had gluten-free years and years ago, and it was shit. And now it's much, much better, so... Getting better slowly.
Yeah, it is. It's not...
I don't know if he's talking about the hope or the...
We'll go for my hope. It's getting better slowly.
Yeah. Prentice, thank you for the one gifted. Up to 60, chat. 40 to go. We're both dying here.
No, we're not.
Just for your entertainment.
We're fine.
Luke's play up. We're both dying here. We need money now to replace the carpet in our bedroom.
No, we don't. It's fine. The carpet's going to come up. It's fine. It's fine. I just need a really sunny day now. Really, really sunny day. So I can get the mirror and point the sunlight.
The mirror thing's interesting. Yeah, we've got like a fucking Death Star laser labyrinth in our bedroom.
Well, the colour yellow isn't photo-stable, so as soon as UV light hits it, it starts to bleach it out. So if you have a stain on your carpet that has any yellow in it, get some sunlight on it, lift that stain out, and then the true stain is the one you're tackling.
Exclamation mark gift. Thanks, Gaz. If we went back to the variety of wheat we had in the medieval period, it was better for us as less gluten and OBS chemicals. I don't know what OBS chemicals are.
Yeah, I believe that.
Thanks for the 20 gifted though, wee man. You're a legend. Love you, Nick. I haven't actually put brush to model today because I've been too busy teaching Ash. But I think I'm going to get some time on Saturday, some time on Sunday. Sorry, some time on Friday, some time on Sunday, and a whole day on Saturday to get some of this knocked out. And I'm back to really fucking enjoying it as well, like really enjoying it. So, my painting mojo is currently very high. Currently very high. Why is there yellow in your coffee?
I think I must have made the colour yellow somehow because...
It's because I pee in it in the morning when she snores. Pee in her coffee.
I don't know if the carpet chemicals, I don't know, and then the coffee, and then plus the detergent I used, I must have made the colour yellow because when I stood back I thought, oh, I've made a yellow colour now.
But that's a good thing?
I don't know. It's lifted out, so...
Yeah, we need the carpet to dry properly, but it looks like it's going to be basically unnoticeable, which is a bonus.
Yeah, so the carpet's fine.
Roast the shit out of some potatoes. Properly cooked roasted potatoes are the bestest ever. Properly cooked roasted potatoes. I'm 95% sure. I'm sorry about this, wee man. I'm 95% sure it's the only reason why you want goose for Christmas this year.
Goose fat, yeah.
Because goose fat for roasted potatoes. One of the best brushes I've used has been a makeup brush that I've borrowed from my partner. Here's another painting tip, right? Here's a top tip when it comes to paintbrushes. Don't listen to people. The thing is with painting, especially with the fucking painting hipsters out there, is, I don't mean war hipster before, I mean just the painting hipsters who are like, I don't use Citadel paints, I use these crazy fucking colours that no one's ever heard of in these weird shaped bottles. Fuck off. Don't listen to people who try and play down the fact that you might use a Games Workshop brush or a Games Workshop paint, or that you might be using Army Painter. Don't listen to all these fucking idiots. the biggest tip I can give anybody is trial and error. Find what works for you. I've had people tell me that Winsor & Newton are toilet now and Series 7s are terrible and you should never buy a miniature brush. You should always buy the full-size brushes. One of the things that's helped me the most painting the Eldar so far is this thing, which is a Winsor & Newton Series 7 size 2 miniature painting brush. This has been game-changing for me. I feel like I have so much control. Now, a lot of people will say that these are a waste, but I find it really useful. I think Joe was using army painter brushes, which a lot of people say are dog shit. He's like, they fucking work, who cares? Mm-hmm. Like, don't fucking listen to people that go, oh, I can't believe you're using Mephiston red. You should use this red from this weird fucking painting company. They've got such a lovely... Fuck off, you cunt. Just use what you like and use what works for you. And if the technique, the brush, the painting handle, the paint, the palette, if it works for you, don't listen to people. If you've got a Chinese container with some parchment paper and the bottom is a wet palette, and someone says to you, oh, you should buy an everlasting wet palette. Fuck off. It works. Who cares? Who cares? It's irrelevant. The airbrush that I find best that works for me might not be the same one that works for Joe. The paint brushes that I use are definitely not the same ones that Joe uses. And you can go to big painters as well and say, what do you use? And they'll tell you what they use. But always remember, it's no different to things like football boots or whatever it might be. They'll tell you what they use. Why do companies sponsor footballers to wear a specific brand of boot for millions and millions and millions of pounds, dollars and euros? Because they want the children to look at that logo on the boot and go, I want those boots because Ronaldo's wearing them or because Rodri's wearing them or whatever, right? That's why. The kid can put those boots on and go, they don't fit very well, they're not very comfortable. Because it's the wrong shape for their feet. You have to just find the shit that works for you and ignore everybody else. The only caveat to that, like James says, is that Servo Skull palette. Don't buy that. I'd be tempted to buy a singular Artis Opus brush and a singular Series 7 brush and a singular Army Painted brush and just try them all. But yeah, and some people will find certain white paints are great for them. Some people will say, I won't touch GW Metallics because the metallics from this company are so much better. Fuck off. If it works for you, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether they say, well, I don't know why you would use Retribute Armor from Games Workshop because this gold's so much better. And I'm not saying that Games Workshop paints are the best. I'm just saying don't listen to the hipsters that tell you you're doing it wrong. If it's working for you and you like what you're using, keep doing it. And if you want to try something new, try something new. But don't drop a product because someone tells you it's bad. This is true of even the games. Joe and I can sit here and say, we think such and such a game system is bad. Don't take our word for it, though. Try it. This is why I sort of semi-hate the influencer word. Because...
Been using a bog brush for years. Paints fine.
Because, thanks, I'm ready for the tea. This is why I sort of semi-hate the... and I genuinely semi-hate the influencer word. Because we, unfortunately, do influence decisions. And we try and give... and it's never going to be avoided. And we try and give as an unbiased a view and unbiased an opinion as we possibly can. And we try and just do whatever it is, like give you the opinion that is based on how we feel and how the product we think it is, and etc. etc. And inevitably, we do, unfortunately, influence people's decisions to buy a thing or not buy a thing. It's the reason why I only endorse products that I actually use myself. The chair, the mead, exclamation mark chair, exclamation mark mead, all those things are directly linked to products I actually use myself. And all of these products, all the products that I'm endorsed by, here's the other thing as well. Every single product that I have an exclamation mark for, beard, chair, mead, every single one of those products I bought myself before I became endorsed, or I started endorsing that company and had an affiliate link. So I was actually using them after my own trial and error before I then went and got the affiliate link, right? So it's not like a company's gone and said, can you sell this glue for us and we'll pay you some money. I was using it first before we do that. Because inevitably we will unfortunately influence people's decisions. But what I'm telling you is we shouldn't. Do your own research. When it comes to painting, try an Artis Opus brush. Very good brushes. Try a Winsor & Newton brush. Very good brushes. Try a GW brush. You might not need to ever buy a paintbrush that isn't just from Games Workshop. Try these things first. And if some fucking hipster comes and tells you you're using the wrong metallics, you're using the wrong brushes, you're using the wrong wet palette, fucking hit him. Mortyhammer, thank you for the 5 gifted. You legend. Up to 65. 7 times 5 to go, chat. Who fancies it? Anyone?
He's shilling, I tell you. I'm just not sure for who.
Yeah. I mean it though. Like, if someone says to me, what chair do you use, I'll tell you. If you tell me what brushes do I use, I'll tell you. If you tell me what beard oil I use, I tell you. It doesn't mean it's the best one for you though. I don't like the pressure of. Here's the thing. I don't like the pressure of I'm the reason that you spent a lot of money and you might not like the product. We were talking to Ash today, and there was a person who he knew who has decided they want a career change, and they quote want to be an influencer. And I was like, why? And inevitably, it's because they see these people potentially making money and getting gifted loads of free stuff. So she's decided she wants to be an influencer. I was like, I don't want that pressure. We made the channel because we like talking about. I say we. I said that we like talking about what, and Lucius looked at me like, we? We made the channel because we like talking about Warhammer, and we like covering the products, we like covering the game. That's why we made the channel. The channel was born out of passion. I didn't make the channel because I thought, make some fucking money out of this. I said to Ash, I said, anyone who starts the influencer journey with the intent of being an influencer or being a YouTuber is probably going to fail. Because they're not doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah. You had the invisible income because what year are we in now?
For this full time?
Yeah, we're coming up on year 4? 3?
Oh, I don't know.
But we're coming up on year 8 in terms of you very first putting yourself out there. And I think it was only 3 or 4 years ago that you could leave the full-time job. It took that long for it to not only start to make money, but for us to be comfortable.
He is SHing for Mr. Box.
Carry on this.
For us to be comfortable that letting go of that invisible income, as in like the full-time job, the thing that actually pays the bills, we'd be able to say goodbye to it. That this would then carry the financial burden of the household. But that took a long time. That took years. And if you were to say to me straight off the bat, nearly 8 years ago, right, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to make money, but I'm leaving the full-time job and I'm just going to do this. Then I don't know how that conversation would have gone.
Yeah.
Because when you did say, I want to leave the full-time job, I'm thinking about actually throwing myself into it properly. I never asked to see it, but you did already have a whole bunch of data that could back up what you were saying. Even though I never asked to see it.
No, but that's because I like to be prepared.
But there was years of doing it. We had a little routine that you'd come home from work, one of us would be on the preschool run or the school run. The other one would come home from work, throw together some of the green screen stuff. I think we had maybe a 20-minute window of both of us being in from work to set up whatever it was for you to test all your mics and whatever, and then to go. And that was...
It was stress.
You are an influencer, a bad influencer, please.
Thanks, Neil, for the $10, Steve. What a hero. What a legend. Chat, we're still 35 gifted away. Can we hit target on Man Flu Wednesday? But this is the thing, right? A lot of people don't see the amount of work that goes to get here. So
when you do hear people, I want to be an influencer, it's part of me is there's no point in talking to you about it because it's already kind of, you're a lost cause at that point because...
But why do they?
Yeah, like what exactly are you...
If you want to be... My brother has talked today about... I've often thought about, like, he used to write essentially a blog. So he used to write a report on the match at the end of every Saints game.
Who did?
Ash.
No, you're joking!
his biggest passion in life is fucking football.
That's amazing.
But he didn't shout about it. He just did it because he liked to.
Were they good?
His mate used to be one of the reporters for a local club, and he used to ask Ash to go along with him, and he'd get Ash in the stands looking at what the fuck was going on, so he could help him write his report. Right?
Oh my god!
So Ash has said he'd loved it. He thought one day about starting like a football podcast or something. I was like, we can do that. He said, well, I haven't really got the means. I was like, I mean, we have. He said, no, I haven't. I was like, we have. We could do it. I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying if that's your barrier, then there's no barrier there. We can solve that problem. But this is what I said to him. I said the problem is people nowadays say someone said they did it here at Mouldy Hammer. They did surveys over here, and like 50% or more of teenagers want to be an influencer as a career. The problem I have is these people literally want to be influenced. Now I think anybody who wants to be an influencer wants to influence people's decisions because that's what you're doing essentially, right? Anybody who wants to do that, that's arguably dangerous. I don't want to influence people's decisions. I'll give you recommendations, but I'll always say, try it for yourself. Try other brands. Try other types of mead. I'll always say that. I don't want to be the person. I feel guilty if you go 500 quid on a Secret Lab chair and you buy it, you go, this is dog shit. I feel awful at that point.
What football would you cover? Would you do like leagues, or would you do like little local clubs?
He used to just cover Saints, just cover Southampton all the time.
Because you could call yourselves the grassroots guys.
So, Lisa's already in the
already on it.
She's already in the marketing team.
I'm trying away. Ash, I've got you. Just give me a minute.
So I said to her, the biggest mistake these people make is they come into this space in this world with, I want to be a YouTuber or I want to be an influencer. And actually, they're not taking the right route. And what I mean by that is they want some level of social media fame. But they don't know why they want it. They just want the fame. And it's the easiest route into some level of low-level fame, because getting into things like Hollywood is actually quite fucking hard. So I'm like, I've always found the creators that do well normally do well because they've started making content about something they're passionate about.
Yeah.
So I liked making videos with John on Visicast. And I fucking love Warhammer. And then when Ben was born, I was like, I reckon I could do this on my own. And if you watch the first videos, I couldn't really. They're a bit shit. But I love the process of learning how to make a video. I love the process of learning how to film and edit and put it together. And I was talking about a topic that I was supremely passionate about. So it works. Other YouTube creators that I watch typically started from tiny. Marcus Brownlee, right? Started from his bedroom talking about tech because he fucking loves tech. Those are the people because they're not just I want to be famous. And we have this whole world of people nowadays that are famous. Why are they famous? Just because they're famous.
Yeah.
No fucking talent.
Yeah.
The fucking Kardashians of the world. Ugh. So this particular person wanted to be an influencer. And I was like, honest to God, I don't understand the world sometimes. I don't know why you'd want that. If you're like, actually, I'm really fucking passionate about guitars. I want to start making content like it because I'm really fucking passionate about guitars. It's cool, go for it.
If somebody said to me, I want to be an influencer, that's an enormous burden to put on yourself.
For me, that straight away is an instant fail.
Yeah, of like, so do you think the way you're living is to be made an example of? Is that, do you think that how you conduct yourself is to be the bar? I'm not, because when you say influencer, I immediately think you think the way you live should be carbon copied and that's the right way to live. What an enormous burden to put on yourself. You're now no longer allowing yourself any mistakes or to be human or...
A lot of these people as well who want to be influencers will...
I thought you were talking New Orleans.
No, Eli, I'm sorry, dude, no. Southampton Football Club, the Saints, hence the halo, right here. Halo, football, scarf for supporters, tree for New Forest, C for the Solent, Rose for Hampshire Rose Football Club. Sorry, dude. Well, the other thing as well with these people that want to be influencers is they want to do it for the money making and the fame, right? So because they want to do it for the money making and the fame, they'll take whatever deal's thrown at them. At which point they'll be influencing people in a product they don't believe in. And I've shared this with things a lot. I've had 8, probably, maybe 10, 8 to 10 emails so far. And then recently, a DM on Instagram. Instagram now has this new thing, which when you go into Instagram...
Mark's now a wanker FYI. 95 in a 35 school zone, person face palming.
Is that miles per hour?
Was the road open? I can't imagine he's the kind of individual that do that in an open road in a school zone. That doesn't sound... That sounds sus. Sounds like someone's trying to take him down. So if I open Instagram and I go to my messages section on Instagram, there's a thing at the top that says partnership messages. So now companies can reach out to creators on Instagram via partnership messages to offer people partnerships. I've had another one on here after my 10 emails. They're all from Temu. I flat refuse. They're offering me money. They're offering to pay me money to promote their products. Nope. Stop using fucking child labour and start making products that won't blow up in my house. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe that's why they can't get any points. Too much time learning about the meaning of the badge. Hey, who's this for?
Football? Maybe?
Oh, right.
Is it football?
Yeah, because Saints haven't really got any points. They've got 4 points. Oh. They don't got any points because they're fucking shit.
I'm getting that very strange headache. Yeah.
Chat, can we get to 100 members? Because we might have to batten down the hatches tomorrow. It might be that I'm like, Joe, stay home.
Yeah. And I need to get Emmy's dog food tomorrow, so I'm hoping.
Well, that headache for me started on probably Monday at lunchtime.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to forbid it.
Yeah, so I tried that.
Ignore it.
I tried the whole I cannot get sick right now.
And then just
So when I got up on Saturday morning,
fruit, because that will save me.
When I got up on Saturday morning, I started feeling a bit shitty. And I was like, I cannot get sick right now. And I went to the gym. And then I came home and I sat under a blanket in the living room feeling sorry for myself. Wee man, you've already done 20. Thank you for 10 more gifted, dude. Up to 75. 25 to go, chat. The sickness is spreading. Yeah, my youngest has got it. My oldest has just kind of come out the back of it. He suffered all weekend, didn't he, really?
It's a very strange one. It doesn't really come out. You just sort of feel almost turbo shit. And then all of a sudden you feel a bit better.
Yeah. Just look now, remove the video and apologise for it. I'm interested in what's gone on there because he was one of my favourites to watch. If he's doing 93 in the fucking kids zone.
This is it. He is he is a mere mortal that is vulnerable to poor choices, but because he might consider himself an influencer instead of a tech guy, people then put him on such a pedestal that yes, speeding nearly 100 in a school zone is terrible. He's possibly made other bad choices that people have come down on him for a ton of bricks, like. So now, being an influencer, does it even look like the thing you set out to do?
There's a strong, there's a possibility that things like the roads closed because they're doing a filming session or whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend a guy without knowing what's going on. But ultimately, it doesn't matter if you're an influencer or not. Doing 93 in a school zone is a no.
Yeah.
Like, influencer or no influencer,
no.
For 10 million followers or not 10 million followers, 93 in a school zone makes you a dickhead.
Let's hope.
Fact.
The road was closed and for whatever reason maybe the kids had a half term over there and the school didn't have children in anyway. Let's hope.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for the one gifted. You're a legend. Up to 76. 24 to go. Just 24 members to go.
I can't do it. My head hurts.
Lucy's getting man flu. Everyone in my still waiting for your drum session. Still waiting for 50 gifted memberships,
Cass, don't be starting.
Yeah, still waiting for 50 gifted post gym sessions. So, you can keep waiting for a fucking drum session. How you doing anyway, dude? I only mentioned it because I knew you liked him, not trying to be a canceller. No, I'm not.
And this is another thing. You make a mistake, cancelled. You say one thing wrong, cancelled. You maybe, I don't know, set fire to your own hand, cancelled.
I think
you shrink something in the wash, cancelled.
I think so. I'm anti-cancel culture, right? I don't like the idea that people can make a rumor about you on the internet and you can be cancelled. I don't like this concept. I don't like the fact that people are able to destroy an individual's life without any hard evidence or proof. Okay. Having said that, if he's done 93 in a school zone, like, he deserves some repercussions. People make mistakes. That's not making a mistake. That's being a dickhead. That's just being a dick. It's as simple as that. So if you're gonna try and cancel Ricky Gervais for a tweet he posted 15 years ago, you're a knob. Because the times are different 15 years ago.
Mm.
But if he's doing that now with his 10 million followers in a school zone in a sports car, he's just been a knob, hasn't he? So everyone in my household has a cough, can't get rid of.
Oh, it hangs around, this cough.
It's annoying. I felt today. I've not felt like awful. I've not felt like I need to be in bed and wrapped up. I've been down here teaching painting and stuff. I had a bit of a splitting headache at about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I took some headache tablets. I've been okay. I've been living off a Lemsip in the morning, a Lemsip in the evening. When I lie down though, wee man, my head goes and just feels as shit. So yes, Kev, this is the word I'm looking for. 100%. Consequences don't necessarily equal cancelled. I agree. Absolutely. Right, we're going to need to go, Luce. We're not going to hit target tonight, I'm afraid.
No, and I need to post some dice and buy some new slippers because mine are soaking in the shower.
I tried to change the smell for them because I know what your feet can sometimes smell like.
That's not very nice. Why, babe? Why? I've just stopped being mad at you, and then you just like. I don't want to be half of a marriage that I'm just perpetually pissed off at you. I don't want that.
We didn't do loose news.
No, we didn't, because I was sulking and I thought it's fine, we'll do it on Friday. And then I softened up and we got to chatting, and then you just go and start a brand new argument.
There's no argument
I wonder
there.
if you're pathologically programmed to just piss me off all the time.
I nearly died then, coughing. Amazing. Look on the bright side. You ain't bottom of the championship. Well, no, fair. True. Can I cancel my subscription to being an adult? I wish. Absolutely. Brilliant. Right. Chat, can we get 24 members before Loose finishes Loose Fact? There's 132 people. 5 lots of 5. We're done. We're over the target. Who's feeling kind? Have you found one? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm just pausing for a minute because I got this message come through on stream, you see.
Oh, okay.
How long's your fact? How many lines? Was it a short fact?
It's a short one.
Oh, fuck.
Why?
Oh, dear. Right, okay. Okay, it's time for Loose Fact, chat.
Pearls melt in vinegar.
I mean, you couldn't have picked a shorter one, could you?
Makes sense. They're both natural
When I
products,
said how many
so-
sentences there, you looked confused at minute for the page. You were like, oh, it's actually just 4 fucking words.
Yeah, short and sweet. I found the trick to lying is to make it as short as possible. Because if you add detail in, that gives the other person to start pulling at threads of your lie.
One of my
and then you
favourite-
can't keep on top of it because there's too many words in the lie.
One of my favourite UK comedy shows was Would I Lie to You? I fucking love
Yeah.
Would I Lie to You. Sometimes that show is just gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, melt or dissolve. What does it say? Vinegar melts pearls.
Yeah.
It says melt. Whitey, thank you for the one gifted. Up to 70 more than that. 78 actually, I think we're at. Have I missed one? Oh, I didn't add the yesins. Up to 78, 22 to go. Can you get me the things I asked for? What did I ask for?
The
Shampoo.
extra slippery lube. The...
Oh, you attacking me tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, the shampoo.
Yeah. The tweezers, but the extra long ones.
Yeah.
With the super sharp
Yeah.
to get that thing you're on about.
Yes.
Yeah, those.
Yeah. It's like a tick. Yeah.
But it's really in there,
Yeah.
so we need to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
I forgot what else it was. Oh,
the pearl
Lemsips.
necklace. The pearl necklace. You needed that.
Lemsips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemsips. Pearl necklace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was something else. There was a third thing. Chocolate
Was it
for my throat.
for your throat?
Yeah. It helps
I'm sure it does.
the throat.
Mm-hmm.
You know it does. You said it to me in the past. You're just doing this for stream again.
But the dairy milk, it's dark chocolate. It's not confectionery chocolate. It's dark chocolate that helps the most. And if you're only having a cube of it, because you're not possibly eating the whole bar, if you're only having a cube of it, then you can stomach 1 cube of dark chocolate.
Oh, it was dark chocolate, dairy milk.
Dark chocolate.
Dairy milk.
Dark chocolate.
Dairy milk. Yeah. Right. Anyway, would I? Would I? Yeah. Everyone loves that. Would I lie to you? Right. We're done, chat. I need to. Luce wants to go to the shop quickly, and I want to go to bed because I'm fucked. And if I've got any chance of making content tomorrow at all, I need to go to bed and have a good sleep. Also, by the way, people were asking earlier very, very quickly about is influencer a job. I had an interesting letter today that came through from HM Revenue and Customs. Right. This is interesting. This one. Invitation to take part in independent research for HMRC. Dear customer, right? It is addressed to me. Dear customer, okay, cool. We are writing to invite you to take part in an important piece of research about how social media content creators describe themselves.
Okay.
We want to know what they do and how HMRC can best provide information to support them.
They've spelt tax wrong.
We are contacting you as our records show that you may be a social media content creator. This is HMRC now recognising this as a job.
I'm interested in the second word of that, dear customer. That to me gives inference that you have a choice.
Yeah, I can choose to pay my tax somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or no.
Customer. Oh, this opens up a door.
Apart from Labour went, fuck you, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they HMRC are now recognising social media content creator as a job.
I was speaking to somebody about this who was actually having a really hard time filling out their self-assessment because an online income can be quite volatile and unpredictable. They were struggling on a self-assessment because their household income, they might qualify for benefits to help bridge a gap, etc., etc. But because there was some kind of rule that HMRC said that she can't mention some kind of tax threshold. So she didn't, and then that put her into some kind of arrears or something. It's very confusing. So I'm glad they're doing that because it made me think, how are you supposed to find the mean average if they don't let you declare something? It was a very confusing conversation.
Yeah, I'm always suspicious when I get a letter from HMRC like that. How can we best support you? How can you tax me more?
Yeah, they spelt tax wrong.
Yeah.
It's TAX, not
Well,
SUPP.
now across
ORT.
the country, all the companies are going to have to be laying off all these extra people because of the national insurance burden. They might have to turn to being content creators and influencers. So I guess HMRC are gathering information.
Do you know, you're probably not wrong there.
Hubris D, thank you for the 5 gifted. Anybody in the world who thought by increasing the amount that fucking businesses have to pay would mean that they would just swallow that themselves is a fucking crackhead. And if anyone thought they wouldn't pass that on to customer or make layoffs, they were fucking stupid. Anyway, enough on that one. Wee Man, thankfully I've got 1 member of staff, so it's not a massive concern for me. Wee Man, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Hubris D, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. What are you doing to me, people? I'm trying to go now. And take an early night so I can get up for Liam and Joe show tomorrow. We got Liam and Joe show tomorrow at 13:30. We have also got a live game of 40k in the evening. Adam returns of Beachhead fame, and I will sit there on my arse as a producer because Joe's going to play him because I feel like shit. So I'd rather just keep myself muted so I can cough away in the corner and let them two entertain you tomorrow night, right? So we have the Liam and Joe show at 13:30. We've got a live game of 40k in the evening. We've got 40k After Dark at 8:30 on Friday. So 3 more streams. So we've completed your full week of content, even with the dreaded man flu.
When are we hearing the debut episode of Grassroots Guys?
Grassroots Guys? I don't know if I like the name, but I don't know if it works.
It's a good bit of alliteration. Grassroots Guys.
Yeah. So I don't think Ash will ever do it, to be fair.
You're so he should.
I don't think he'll be allowed out of the house for long enough, to be honest with you.
The amount of football chat. You two could talk till the cows come home about football stuff.
Yeah, but I don't
that's amazing. What a shame that he didn't turn that into the career, the writing reports and...
Well, this is the thing, people... And this is my point, though, Luce, right? I kind of respect it. Because he just did it because he liked it.
Yeah, true. Maybe he would have ended up hating it.
He just did it because he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to it. I enjoy doing this thing, and that's the only reason.
Grassroots Guys is never going to get off the drawing board because we're going to crush the love for it.
I don't think it's possible to crush his love for football. Have you met him? Baldy, thank you for the 5 gifted.
Maybe if we tape his mouth shut so that we can't hear the football chatter.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think we could ever shut him up about talking about football, but
that's a whole new side to Ash.
I could honestly stick 2 microphones like this in the studio.
Yeah.
Swap the sign on the back of the wall over and sit and talk football with him for an hour easily weekly. 100% without doubt.
Oh, you should. We should. This has got legs. We should definitely do something for you.
This has got legs is the name of the podcast. Baldy, thank you. Oh, fuck. Thank you for the 5 gifted. You're amazing. We end on 93, chat. You tried. I appreciate you all. You're amazing people. Thank you so much. Like I said, Liam and Joe show tomorrow at 13:30. Live game in the evening and then 40k After Dark on Friday. Tony, fucking hell. You've all woke up. Tony, thank you for the 5 gifted. Amazing humans. So hopefully we'll see you for the Liam and Joe show tomorrow. I don't have a topic for it at the moment. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Be interesting. I'll find something to talk about. I was tempted to take some paints in, but I need the old this light, and I can't. I'm not moving that. Anyway, I'm hanging on now, Luce, because they're 2 away.
Shall I gift?
No, please no, please no.
How can we? So I'm on Brandon's team. How can we convince Ash that this is a really good idea?
Gently.
Okay.
Forcing it, and he's like me. Then he'll be like,
Okay.
nope, fuck off. Not interested now.
Okay. So I won't mention it then. I'll just put little memorabilia, some merchandise of Grassroots Guys around the room, and maybe for Christmas I'll get him some Grassroots Guys socks because he likes socks.
He gets enough socks at Christmas.
I know.
Morty, that was an evil fucking acknowledgement. Morty Hammer, thank you for the 5 gifted. Dan, thank you for the 5 gifted. You people are incredible. Sven Holio, thank you for the fucking hell. Mr. Sven Holio, thank you for the 5 gifted. Jesus. What happened? Have you liked the stream, Luce?
Yes.
What that means, Kev, is no.
I did.
I've seen you click it.
But I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you're all amazing people. You're incredible. I love you so much. You're beautiful human beings, especially Mr. the Wee Man, who's gifted 35 tonight. 35.
He's our favourite vegetarian.
He is my favourite vegetarian.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know another one. Oh, Brom's missus is a vegetarian who likes chicken and bacon sandwiches.
Yeah.
She's not really a vegetarian. Is Paddy's missus vegetarian?
Yes, she is.
Which one, Alex or Ola?
Both of them.
Hey! That's an in-joke that you're not going to get. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Like I say, I'm trying to go now. We're 10 minutes over. Luce wants to go to the shop. I want to go to bed because I'm fucking hanging out my ass. I don't know if you can see with these eyes, like piss holes in the snow. You've been incredible people. You're amazing. I categorically still think that article is a message. And I think that wording is written in a specific way to send a message or at least express some dissatisfaction. I'm convinced. And when I asked Luce about it, she read it again. She thinks the same as well. So I'm convinced. But that's it from us today. I'm going to go now and die in my pit for a few hours and tell Luce, do not put an alarm on or I'll kill you dead. So...
No, I'm having an alarm.
No.
Yeah, I gave you a non-alarm yesterday.
Yes.
And you repaid me this morning by throwing coffee everywhere. So you're not having another no alarm. I'm getting new slippers. I deserve new slippers.
No alarm. Right.
Alarm.
Thank you, you wonderful humans, for hanging out with us. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow on the Liam and Joe show. If not, we'll see you in the next one.